Hello knitters, Faye Lynn from Strength Knitting Studio in San Clemente, California. And I have classes, I have sweaters, and how to winterize your knitting. Stay tuned. Okay, so this Sunday is the bunny class, but it's full. But if you still were thinking about making bunnies, because you still have time to make a ton of bunnies actually, you can still do that. And if you need help, you just come to a workshop and we'll finish it. You can do, but you could still make bunnies for Easter, spring, whatever. There's still plenty of times. These are very simple projects that actually are instant gratification because you actually finish multiple stuff very quickly. So if you still want to do bunnies, come on in and we'll get you doing bunnies. Okay, so the next sweater class is April 19th, which is a Saturday from 12 to 2. I'm going to highlight a sweater because with the yarn in. So we have this yarn from Noro, and it's a Hanui wool silk blend. This is the most luscious stuff ever. We're so happy we have it back in. It is, where is it? 65 wool and 35 silk. This feels like silk. It doesn't feel like wool at all. This is the most amazing yarn. So these are New Zealand sheep, and this is the natural colors of the sheep. We have 4 colors, and these two are very close, but not the same. You can see there is a difference between them. The sweater I would say that I would do out of this, the sweater that we did out of this is the Weekender. Andrea Mowry's weekend sweater, which is a fabulous sweater. So if you want to start this on Saturday, whatever I just said, the 19th, so what is that, maybe a week or two away from now, you could start this sweater easily in that class. We'll get you started in all the stuff about sweater classes, about getting the fit right, having your measurements right, doing the gauge, and getting it started with the right stuff. So Hanui silk, woolen silk, and the Weekender, it's like a pairing made in heaven. It is heaven. So the other sweater sample that we got in, yay, we got a sample in for the store, is this one. I talked about this yarn last week. This is the Casita, and it's this, it looks like mohair, but this is alpaca, so it's really soft, really fun. And here's the sweater that they gave us. This is the sweater, I'll put the picture up, that was I talked about this last week. Yes, beautiful. So, and this is gonna be on bigger needles. Let's see if they even tell me what. Nope, they don't. Sometimes I wish they put all information, but they don't. Just what the pattern is, and this is a size medium. That's what we get. So I'd have to look at the pattern to see what sizes we're on. But if you wanted to start this sweater, you could do that too. So either sweater, and of course, if you've already got one going or you have a different one, you can come to the sweater class. But the Weekender, for me, the Weekender is like a no-brainer while we have this yarn in because it goes pretty quickly. This is an amazing yarn, amazing, amazing yarn. All right, winterizing your knit. So it's supposedly gonna get warmer now. And we need to take care of our knitted garments especially, but even hats and any mitts or stuff like this. This is what you need to do to sort of get them all fixed and store them. And so they're ready and fresh when you wanna get them out for winter. So first thing you're going to do is look over everything, make sure there's no holes or anything like that need to get fixed first. And if there is a hole, I mend people's knitting, even little tiny moth holes, with thread. 1, I can match the color really, really well. 2, if you use any kind of, even if you're using the same yarn, you're gonna see things. And it's really much easier to hide all that I have to do to make the hole go away. And I also work mostly on the front of the sweater or the piece, whatever, so that I can see exactly what it's looking like. If I'm working for the back, I don't know what the front's looking like. So I'll probably work the front first and get it looking right, and then I might go to the back just to stabilize it some. And then, of course, if you have something that's sort of bigger than just a tiny little hole, you can come in, and even in a workshop, and I can show you how to fix it. So first thing you're going to do is fix anything that needs fixing, mend anything that needs mending. Second thing you're going to do is wash it. So you're going to hand wash it, unless it happens to be a super wash, which means our Chow some cottons, yeah, but you should know that from your ball band and already know that this is a wash and dryable. If it's a super wash, you can just wash and dry it, and it'll be beautiful. Okay, but if it's not, if it hasn't been treated to be a super wash, then it needs to be hand washed. So you're going to fill your sink, whatever you've got, and it's just tap water. It doesn't need to be hot or cold or anything, just whatever it is, and let it soak. Put in, there's Wool Wash, there's Eucalyptus, there's Dawn soap. So those are the three things I use. I love Dawn. So, but there's Dawn soap also. So, so you're going to let it soak for like 15, 20, 30 minutes. It doesn't matter, but at least like 15 minutes so that all the fibers have soaked up some water and you don't have any little dry spots. Then you're going to squeeze it out. You're never going to wring everything. Squeeze it out. Then you're going to roll it in a towel. I put it on the floor. I stomp on the towel. I'm wanting to get as much water out of this as I possibly can. And then you're going to lay it flat to dry. And if you can get a fan on it, you know, like if it's on my table and I have a standing fan, I'll bring the fan and let it blow on it because it dries much faster that way. If you feel like you want to have to stretch it out, like if it's lace or something, you're going to want to stretch it out. So then you need blocking boards, which are these foam board puzzle piece things, and stainless steel straight pins. I use T-pins, but you don't have to use T-pins. They just need to be stainless steel so that if they stay, if they have to stay in the project too long, whatever that is, that it doesn't start to try to rust on you. So that's why you want to use stainless steel. So you use stainless steel, you're going to pin it out, and if you're wanting to block it bigger, then block it bigger, okay? And then let it dry, and you will have been able to increase the size by a bit, all right? So that's, okay, now it's washed, now it's dried, now you got to store it. So there are critters. There are lots of critters. So moths is our biggest enemy, and they're very tricky. I don't get how they get where they get sometimes, but so the more barriers you put in, the better chance that you will come out with no little tiny holes. So you can get into a Ziploc bag so that you know they have those really big, I don't know if they're 5-gallon, 10-gallon, but the really big ones. And you can Ziploc it. If you have one that's that you suck air out, you can do that. Wherever you put it, so that's one boundary, but they can eat through things. So, so that's one boundary. Okay. Then you need to put it into something. And I put mine in, well, I have a cedar lined armoire. So my stuff lives in my cedar lined armoire. But if you want to just put your stuff in a bigger plastic container thing with a locking lid, that'll be another barrier. And then in that, before you lock it down, you put either cedar chips, I'm blanking, cedar chips, lavender, okay, lavender, and peppermint gum, believe it or not. If you get a package of peppermint gum, you take everything out of the wrapper and you just place it around. Peppermint gum actually works really well. And also soap, so like Irish Spring soap, which is one of the better ones because it's really smelly. A really smelly soap is what you want. And you might cut it like in half so you can put it around places. So those are the 4 things that work. You don't need to do all 4 in one, maybe 2, but that's it. Do help repel. They don't like the smells and stuff, so it does repel. Obviously, lavender is our best smelling. We have these little pouches that are full of cedar chips that you can get. So we have those here, and I think they're like $3 or something for one. And you might need 2. If you're in a container, I might put 2 of them in there. Or in that case, I might put one of those with some peppermint gum, or one of those. Lavender, I would put lavender into little sachet bags and put them all over the place. I would put them inside the Ziploc, you know, and same with almost any of it. I would put it inside the Ziploc and then into the bigger container. So that's how you winterize and protect your knitting that you have spent so much time and money on for the winter, and so that it is ready to come out and be worn when the weather turns bad again. So that is winterizing your knitting. All right, and that's it for this week, and it's still nice and cold, so we're still like loving knitting our sweaters and stuff, but I'm about to cast on a top, so I know I'll talk about that a little later, and it's different. It's a very different construction, a different detail. It's very different, and it's more for my intermediate people that, you know, I do a lot of beginning stuff all the time, but this is for an intermediate one. You might really love this. So that I'll be talking about. I'm just casting on for a swatch right now, and it's going to be out of a linen cotton yarn that we've got in. So stay tuned for that. And other than that, I hope to see you in the studio real soon. Bye.